In this section, we are going to work on the topic of generating your psychic energy. In the previous one, you already learned how to visualize your internal energy. Now, we are going to focus on you being able to generate it at your own will. To do this, I want you to first see this image that I am showing you here, which would be a fairly accurate representation of what happens when you visualize energy. Here you can see a representation of the background of psychic energy, and here I show you that ball of energy that you were able to visualize in the previous exercise. As you can remember, in that section I indicated that this concentrated energy is not maintained in a completely spherical shape, but rather being in constant flow. Its shape can alter from time to time. It would be something like what I am showing you here. Now, of course, this is just a representation of what's going on with you. That's why it would be good for you to draw your own psychic mantle, and at the same time, to also represent through a drawing the image of the way in which your own energy is concentrated. Based on this, the next thing we are going to do is add some figures that are used for this exercise. First, the stretching bow. Second, the swirling circle. And third, the infinite eight. I want you to pay attention to these figures and keep them very present for the moment in which we are going to induce that state of energy generation that I am going to show you here. So, when I tell you to generate energy, the first thing you are going to do is concentrate on your psychic mantle, and then begin to concentrate your energy as I am showing you here, until you transform it into a ball of energy. And based on that, I want you to spin it like I am showing you here. That's the first part. So let's go to the first exercise. I want you to start by doing your breathing exercise, a deep inhalation and exhalation, a second deep breath where we will fill ourselves with positive energy, and a long exhalation where we remove all the emotional poison that we carry inside us. We take a third inhalation, we fill ourselves with oxygen and free ourselves from everything that overwhelms us. On the fourth inhalation, we close our eyes and visualize the air entering our body as a great torrent of light, while it leaves through our exhalation, taking away everything bad as if it were a cloud of black smoke coming out of our body. And finally, we do the fifth inhalation, where we fill ourselves again with light, energy, clarity, and we remove the bad to that dark cloud of smoke, which, having expelled many of our toxic thoughts from our psyche, is no longer seen as dark as before. And now, we regulate our breathing and concentrate on the psychic mantle. That wall of energy that appears before you, and you slowly begin to concentrate psychic energy. You begin to transform the light in you into a circle, which remains in front of you, at the point that is in front of your eyes. And now, once you have concentrated your psychic energy, I want you to begin spinning that ball of light as I showed you in the corresponding diagram. You will notice that as you spin that ball of light, which is nothing other than your energy, you begin to experience certain pleasant physical sensations, like a kind of tingling that manifests itself in your forehead, in your eyes, and in part of your shoulders. Now, you can feel the tingling even in parts of your chest. If you notice, we achieve this sensation of pleasure only by inducing in you the management of the generation of your psychic energy. Now, let's expand your energy. To do this, I want you to start making your ball of psychic energy get bigger, as I showed you in the corresponding diagram. Little by little, you begin to manage that circle of light get bigger. It is possible that first the size of that circle of light was no larger than that of a tennis ball. Now, I want you to make that ball of light as big as if it were a beach ball. If you do the exercise well, that ball of light should be similar in size to half your body. Now, I want you to take in more psychic energy. You will notice that there is a lot of energy left in your energy mantle that you can take to enlarge your circle of light. Imagine that your ball of light was a kind of black hole, but made of light, which absorbs everything outside of it. But it is you who controls the ball of light, because I am going to tell you a big secret. Your energy is infinite. Therefore, you can use it at your will. As you can see, thanks to this exercise, your energy ball maintains the same psychic strength. It is not a blurred ball, but on the contrary, it has become stronger. And now, I want you to spin it again. I am sure that at this moment, when you spin the ball, you are feeling pleasant sensations on the other areas of your body that before, when your ball was smaller, you couldn't feel. You may now feel the tingling in your abdomen and even in some areas of your legs. And now that you have expanded your psychic energy, what I want is for you to lower your energy level. I want you to begin drawing energy from your ball of light, and through this process, make it smaller and smaller to the point that it becomes a ball of light similar in size to a tennis ball. And once you have achieved that, the next thing is to diffuse the little ball of light. May you return that psychic energy to your psychic mantle, where it is once again in a state of balance. And with that, you go back to doing your breathing exercises. First inhalation, first exhalation. We do it a second time. Then in a third, as we open our eyes. We make a fourth where we feel how the energy flows inside us. And we do the fifth inhalation and exhalation where we take motivation energy to wake up completely. And with this, you have already learned to generate and expand your psychic energy, which is a part of psychic alchemy, which is what I work on in my practice. If you pay attention to this, you have taken a new step so that you can learn what your emotions and thoughts generate in your body.